Yeah. Well, my name's Matthew Peters, and the product we're talking about is called Smartphone Video Producer. And I can. You want me to tell a little bit about it now?
Well, tell me a little bit, the X, Y, and Z that we've been taught.
Yeah, sure. Well, what I do and what Smartphone Producer is all about is teaching experts, authors, small business owners, and industry leaders how to shoot video, pro quality video, really simply with their iPhone, and then get it up online as quickly as possible.
And is there like a qualifier, like even if somebody doesn't know how to do something?
Yeah, if people haven't had much experience or even any experience shooting video, or they really just don't like that whole technology thing, it just drives them nuts. Trying to figure out the right plugins or how do you get it on your website and all this stuff. People have had a lot of issues with that in the past. That's what I tackle, and I just show people the easiest way to do that.
Now, this didn't just fall out of the sky. You must have been struggling with something that you decided you wanted to make simple product. What was your struggle like?
Well, my struggle is I've been a video producer for 19 years, and I decided to write a book in the real estate industry, and I used social media to make it a bestseller. But one of the things I discovered
Hey,
was,
wait, I'm going to sneak in. What is the name of the book?
oh, the name of the book is Don't Own, Don't Rent, Live Well.
Don't own. I'm going to look at that. Don't
Okay.
rent. We're not talking about that here, but you're the author of that
Yep.
book, and I remember us having a long conversation on the deck about that. Live
Yeah.
well, live well.
Yeah. hmm
Okay, I'm gonna go back. Go ahead about the struggle. Sorry.
Yeah, so, as a video producer, I would go out to experts or small business owners, and I would make these videos for them. So I'd set up my cameras, my lights, and microphones, shoot it for them, and then I'd take it back in hours and hours. I'd edit the thing. And I realized now as an expert and an author, I had to make videos where now I'm on the other side of the camera, and I didn't have the time to spend hours and hours shooting video, shooting and editing video. The editing was just driving me nuts because it was slowing down all my productivity for everything else.
Hey,
And
wait,
so,
wait a minute. It sounds like I gotta be one of your customers because I'm spending so much time editing.
well, I tell you right now, the secret is really preparing for being on camera a little bit, because most people just get on and they don't prepare at all, and do what I call one take. So that may take you two or three times, but the idea is to get it down to where you just trim the front of the video and the end of the video, where you go up and you press, record and press stop. You just pull those off, and really it comes down to, well, do I want to put text on it? Or if you don't need to, you can just go right from your iPhone and post it directly to YouTube, have all your keywords in there, have your title SEO'd, and have your description all ready, and shoot in HD, put it up in HD in like 2 minutes.
And you know what? You said iPhone, but also any smartphone. We were talking. This is
Yes.
good on Android as well, or any smartphone.
Yep.
Web enabled if you're gonna send it, but it doesn't even have to be web enabled. Oh, what is the biggest objection you get when you talk to somebody? Like, this is the one thing that's almost a deal killer, if you will, that I can't handle this.
A lot of people think that you need to know a lot of technical stuff, because once you start integrating a camera, like if you have a flip camera, it's got one button on it, you record and start shooting. They'll say, well, I can do that, but then getting it onto my computer, editing it up, and then putting it up on my website, that is really frustrating to people. And so what I do is I have workarounds, and like the iPhone going directly to YouTube. The other thing is people in general are afraid of being on camera, and a lot of times it's because they don't prepare. And the other thing is they just haven't shot enough videos. Really, that's it. Is when I started shooting video when I was on the other side of the camera, and now I had to perform. It was not easy. It isn't easy. It's just you need to get over it. And I tell people, after about shooting 10 videos of yourself, you watching it, you start taking some notes on what you would like to change about yourself on camera, getting some feedback if you're bold enough from other people who love you and are going to give you positive criticism, not criticism that's going to be cutting, but saying, you're really good at that. I'd focus on that. You have such a beautiful character. Don't try to get salesy in your videos. Be yourself. Tell your story. things like that is what is going to attract people to you, and that makes it easier, not trying to be somebody you're not.
What I want you to do is tell me a little bit how this works, a little bit of a product demonstration. And I know you're the one take master, and I'm going to get there, not yet. But on this particular video, I would like a little bit of a technical video sent from you, and I'm going to insert it here after you give me the answer. So guys and gals, if you see the audio is a little bit different, it's because Matthew has sent me this technical production, which he's done after this interview. Well, excuse the unprofessionalism. This is only my third interview, so here it goes. And it is going to stay. I'm not going to edit this one except by inserting. Am I talking too much? Here it goes. So go ahead, Matthew. A little bit of product demonstration, please.
Yeah, well, the product is online training. It teaches people who don't have a lot of time, time-starved experts, business owners that know that they need to get more stuff out on the internet, get their message out, authors who want to promote their book, local celebrities and people who have a small business want to get the edge over their competition. They don't have a lot of time. So I've got a series of 36 videos, and what that does is it teaches them each individual part in roughly from 2 minutes to about 7 minutes. And it's not, you don't have to take it in any order. It is in order, but you can take it anytime you want. You need to know something about lighting. You go to the 3-point or the 2-point lighting modules, and in 2 or 3 minutes, you'll see behind the scenes, so you can see how the camera is set up, and then you'll go switch that camera so you can see what that lighting will actually look like on another camera.
You know what? I've seen some of your videos. They're impressive as I mean, like right after I saw them, like, wow, all that done with an iPhone or with a smartphone. I was very impressed. And which you're going to send me that demo.
Yep.
Okay, what I'm going to do is quickly go through the member area for a smartphone video producer. You're going to see behind the scenes of what it is that is included in the training. So we have the beginner modules, and what the beginner modules are designed to do is teach you how to use your iPhone or iPod Touch or even Android, how to use that when you don't have a light kit, when you don't have external microphones or anything fancy. You have your iPhone with you and you're at a seminar and you want to do a quick interview, an impromptu interview, and you want to capture it so you can hear the person, and there's none of those distractions. You know, you want to make sure that you have a quality interview instead of just having to throw it away because people can't understand what your interviewee is saying, or the lighting is terrible, so they're in the shadows. How do you do that, and how do you shoot and get that video that you shoot up on the internet as quickly as possible? Because the old problem is people would shoot with something like a flip camera or a Kodak ZI-8 or Kodak Play Touch, and it would sit on your camera or it would sit on your hard drive for a long time. And this is to get rid of that excuse. And so I'm going to show you kind of what one of these videos looks like. And since this is a screen capture, you're not going to see the full frame rate. You're probably going to see it looking a little jolted here. But as you'll see here, I do kind of a personal view right here. So you're seeing here's the subject. Obviously they're out of focus because we're focusing on this camera right here. Show you how to set everything up, hit record, trim the ends, so you don't have to take it onto your computer and edit it. You just trim it, click trim, and then you upload it to YouTube. Send it to YouTube, and then how do you get it set up on YouTube where people are actually going to find it? And how to get it up in high definition, things like that. We also talk about creating an expert YouTube account, syncing your expert YouTube account with your iPhone, best camera apps. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of video apps available for iPhone, iPod Touch, and I'm sure for Droid as well. We cover the iPhone in this training. But the thing you want to think about is what is the best video applications for me? And some of them are going to be free. Some of them are going to be $1.99. Some of them, the most expensive one I use is $5. So camera stabilization, basic lighting, visual composition, studio setup overview. I'll go show you how this studio right here that you're seeing right here, the behind the scenes, how that's set up. Let's go into intermediate modules. Sets and backgrounds, best camera apps, lighting options, lighting with 2 light kit and a 3 light kit. And I want to show you the difference between this video training and other video trainings that are very expensive. So even though I have 19 years of hands-on video training, I took that knowledge and the knowledge of how do I need to use this in a day-by-day use. So I am not the video producer now. I am the author of a book, and how do I shoot my author videos quick, and how do I make them look good? So I shoot in such a way where I'm doing that one take, but if you look right here, this is 3-point lighting, and I teach you how to do that in less than 2 minutes. This video is actually longer than how long it takes to learn 3-point lighting. I thought it was very difficult for a while until someone showed me how to do it, and it's very simple. You'll see this is an iPhone right here. We're shooting from the iPod Touch. This is what you're seeing. So you see the quality of these. And granted, this is going to be compressed because I'm doing a screen capture. But you're seeing one camera, and then you're seeing the behind-the-scenes camera here, and it takes 2 minutes. We have a 2 light kit video on that, and then also we have the advanced modules. They're going to teach you kind of the online aspect of why are you shooting these videos and how can you be relevant instantly. Don't make a bunch of videos that you're going to see after a month have 10 views. I talk about keyword research, increasing your video limit from 15 minutes to 5 hours. I know I hear people say you can only shoot up to 15 minutes on YouTube. That's actually not true. You can shoot up to 5-hour videos. Not that you want to do that unless you want to do a seminar and put that up. YouTube insurance, Amazon S3. I cover all of these things in the bonuses. WordPress 101 training, recommended web services, all the web services I use to create this site. The App Lounge where we talk about the latest applications that you can download. And then the archives are all the newest and an archive, really, of all the extra training that you don't see in here. I'm going to send this back to Amit.
Why should I buy your product and think about getting the producer? But before I buy anything, you have some free training for me, don't you?
Yep.
Okay.
You can go to.
So if we go, when we send people to the link, they get to learn something even if they don't purchase anything, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've got a free guide. It's a 17-page guide that shows people, what microphones I recommend, really inexpensive microphones. I don't recommend people go out and buy $1,000 lights and, $250 to $350 microphones. I'm talking about, let's start small. Let's start with a $25 microphone or a $40 microphone.
19, Audio Technica.
Yeah, exactly. And, a light kit for $200, a nice light kit for $200 starting. And I have all that in the guide. But also I show you kind of a behind the scenes of how I set up my iPhone studio. So what video camera do you use? I was like, no, I use my iPhone for everything. And so when I go out and shoot interviews for doctors and other professionals, I just bring my iPhone along. I have actually this little bag, and I've got everything I need in there, and I just have a little tripod, and I'm set.
Okay.
And it's really gotten that easy for people.
So the real reasons why is A, you always have a video camera. It's on your hip, and it's about this big. And
Exactly.
B, you need to do video. And C, and these are reasons I'm understanding. And C, it's easy, it's fast, and what Matthew's course is going to teach you is how to make it right to recording and not have to be an editing pro, basically. Is that what am I understanding?
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's a lot of benefits to having an iPhone or any other smartphone. I focus on the iPhone because that's what I know.
Yeah.
But Android has a lot of similar features. And I tell people, you can learn a lot from this course that I put together just about how getting your video recorded with lights and your microphone options and such, and putting it up on your website. But the thing is, why I don't use a flip camera anymore, or a Kodak ZI-8 or a Kodak PlayTouch, is that the ability to shoot, trim it on your phone, hit upload, and it goes not only to your YouTube or Vimeo, but if you're more if you want to do something advanced, you can go right from your iPhone to your Amazon S3 account, which is basically a giant video storage system for all your videos, and you can secure it so you can. there's amazing things you can do with it. But
Yeah.
the other
So
thing,
I wanted to ask you a question that I asked you earlier. I'm going to look down to cheat a little
okay,
bit. Do you tell them what software to buy to do the trimming if they want to get a little bit fancier?
yeah, I tell you everything I use. Matter of fact, I have a page on my website. I say, here's everything I use. Matter of fact, here's how I built this whole site. This is everything, all the software I use, all the services I use. It's kind of like seeing behind the curtain of not only shooting with your iPhone, but how do you now get all that stuff onto a website where people so it's not just stuck on YouTube. You actually have it on your own website.
Great. And I'm not going to give the name of the site away because it's going to be the treat that when you arrive, he will tell you. But it's a $5. It's a $5 app basically. It's not like some $90 thing. Okay.
No.
So let me see if I can get you back on the screen. Okay, guys, please excuse me. As I said, this is my third interview. I hope the genuine part comes across, but the technical part, ooh, I've been messing up. So you'll see his face on the screen when it should be my face. I'm still working on the technical, and actually, next one I'm going to use a different technology. Hopefully, it'll deal with this and not have it as chopped up a little bit, which I apologize for.
It's reality TV.
Yes, it's real TV too. If someone was to come and take the free training, what is one nugget or two nuggets or maybe even 5 nuggets that you really quickly can rattle off for me?
Yeah, well...
By the way, you're a great interviewee, man. Not only are you my friend, you also are concise. You give me answers. Bum, bum, bum. I love that.
Well, good. I would have to say that what they're going to learn is it's a lot easier than you think. But on the second, or the counterpart to that is you need to know how to use the technology. Because you don't want a bunch of videos where you're like this, or the lighting's really off. You could have an awesome message, but people are going to be distracted by the quality. So you have this kind of, you're writing this like, I don't want to spend $1,000 per video to have a video crew come in. I have to schedule everything for them to come and shoot this little video and then edit it and wait a week or 2 weeks for them to bring it back.
Yeah.
I can shoot on my iPhone and get it, or any smartphone, and get it really good quality.
Yeah.
Professional grade quality, and put it up online today.
Yeah, you know what comes to mind, and I don't know about the privacy issues, but if I'm a doctor and my patient, I'm a dentist, and my patient says, yes, I don't mind showing a before and after, and literally you would shoot her mouth with the crooked teeth, and then a couple of months later you would shoot her mouth. Literally, just whip out your phone, take the shot, press send, and now you have it in the archive. Now you can take those two videos, put them side by side, and put the giant before after. We all like to see before after, but in that environment, if you brought a camera, there's no patient in the world who's going to let you photograph her. But if you have a rapport with her, and I'm not just saying dentist, any trade, when this camera comes out, people aren't afraid. When this camera comes out, people freeze up. Am I right?
Yeah, let's turn on a bunch of lights and mic you up too.
Yeah. Bring the crew and the fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
One other thing I'd like to say is one of the powers of having a smartphone over a Kodak ZI-8, a Kodak Play Touch, or a flip camera is that connection to the web and all the apps. There are literally hundreds of camera and video apps that you can download, and the thing is, there are so many different camera apps.
Yeah.
I mean, when you buy a Play Touch, it's here's your fixed focus. Yeah. Here's what your mic is going to be. Yeah. Here is, you basically you're very limited. You plug it into your computer and then you download. It just takes so many steps out. You save so much time. Yeah. So I've talked to people at Brendan Burchard's events and other marketing events. Yeah. And they are on video with their Kodak ZI-8, and it's been on there for 2 months. Yeah. They don't either know what to do with it next, or they don't have the time to download it.
You know what? I have maybe 200 hours of video here, and maybe 5 hours of it is on the web. I have hundreds of videos. In the last year or so, I've shot a lot of videos. But if I was to sit down and tell you how many of them came from this, you'd be amazed. I have every one of these. When I'm done, I don't even have to do anything. As long as I get in Wi-Fi, it goes to the web. That's how my settings are. And I presume you're going to teach some of that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a really special a product. We talked about the reason to own it. We saw the demonstration, it works. We talked about people who shouldn't get it. You know, if you're making a giant stage movie, this isn't the app for you. And we also talked about the fact that this is a video production for all of us. This is for the 99%, okay? Not for the high end. And whatever they do with you, if they come and they visit you, you're going to give them, what is your normal standard warranty if they decide to participate in your course?
Well, I give people unconditional 60 days to like 2 months to try it out. See if it's for them. See if it's a good fit.
Okay, and that matches our the socialmedias.com TV network, and that's why we've invited Matthew to participate. So anything, if you decide to go in there. Now comes the really good part. Tell me a little bit about these pricing. We're going to talk in a minute. I don't want you to tell me the price because it's ridiculously low, but we're going to talk a little bit. This is kind of your launch price because you're a newbie to the marketplace, even though your product is awesome. So in the launch price, it's going to be pretty inexpensive. Why did you set it so inexpensively?
The first reason is I wanted it to be a very low barrier of entry. I wanted people to be able to experience the power that they have with their iPhone or their smartphone. And so many times people will see these programs that are hundreds and hundreds or even thousands of dollars on video training, and they open it up and it's overwhelmed. And what I've done is I just brought everything down to, okay, what do you need to know? If you don't get what you need to know in there, add a comment below, add a question, and people will help each other out. I come in and I help people out. And the reason I price it low really is because I want people to have that experience, that you don't have to be a pro in video. I say I have 19 years of experience, but I was like, how would I teach this to my grandmother? How would I teach this to my mother? And that's the approach I took. And so they can watch a video and say, oh, okay, so if
my mother can do it or my grandmother can do it, everybody can do it.
So that's how you just do that. And then to get it on YouTube, you just, oh, okay. That's what it's like.
Okay, great. And so if they come, they take the free training and they decide to go forward and they get it from you and they're not happy, you'll just give them all their money back, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, you're going to stand behind them. That's why I'm interviewing you. You're my friend. And for 60 days from the day, if you decide to purchase anything, but please go and look at the free training. Look at all the free resources he got. Get the link when we're going to give them a link below me. Mm-hmm. Is that where they can get some free PDF files from you on how to do stuff?
Yep. I'll give them all kinds of fun videos.
Okay. So when the link you click below is not a money link right away. There's a lot of training. We're all been trained in this new economy, which is add value. So we're adding value, which means I honestly, I'll tell you a little story. A guy trained me how to do video. Recently, he was offering a trainer called Brendan Bouchard. And Brendan was selling the kit for this training, where I met Matthew Peters a couple of months ago. Actually, I met you in September, right?
Yep.
2011. So we actually on 11/11/11 were in the room together, right? That was a pretty special experience. And actually, I don't think there was a person in the room with a dry eye. So Brendan did a great job. I paid $2,000 for that product, and I particularly purchased it from one person, and that person was my teacher, Mike Koenig, just to say thank you. He had all kind of bonuses to purchase. I already owned all those bonuses, but I wanted to say thank you to that man for having brought me up I was a lot higher than most people because of his training. And that's what Matthew is trying to do here. He wants to genuinely teach you. Okay? And now, at this point, I want you to tell him the phenomenal giant price. Oh, by the way, I'd like you to tell me a little bit before the price, one last thing,
Yeah.
about somebody who has used this and really has been quite pleased.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple interesting stories. One is a doctor who does not have time. He is seeing hundreds of patients a week. And I said, listen, if you want to expand your practice, you need to be on video. And he's like, well, I'll find somebody in the office to shoot it, or you can come over here and I'll have you shoot it. It's like, you know what, the type of video I'm teaching you, you can do this on your own. You have an iPhone 4. And I said, why don't you go through the training? And he went through the training, and he gave me a call later, and he says, I uploaded something. And so I took a look at it, and it was really good. I was surprised. I mean, he's never shot video before, other than shooting like this birthday party or something.
Awesome.
And then another doctor who was a good friend of mine. I had him watch some videos and said, this is all you need to know. I'm not into giving people every type of light they can get and all that stuff. And he sent me back. He showed me the light kit that he bought. The microphone. He got a wireless microphone, and he was interviewing patients, and he had the lights set up. I was like, "Bravo! That's awesome, man!" And he found time to do it.
You know what? And people want to do this, but they're frustrated because they don't know how.
Right.
Okay, and you make it really simple, and as we've seen in the product demo, it's very easy to use. Okay, yeah. I thank you very much. I want to talk a little bit about the price now. That we've talked, most people, like that doctor you talked about, would you say he's going to get 1, 2, 3 more clients a year because of this?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I teach people to get their personality out. You don't do sit like this and do a face in the box sort of thing. It's really, what is your message, getting your story out, and that's really the important thing. So that's where the clients come from. That's where the new patients come from. That's where people want to buy your book, is seeing your personality.
I'm gonna give you a future testimonial, but right now it's gonna be a pretend one, because I got to tell you, from listening to you, I need to go through that course. I could right now. Last night I went to bed at 4:20 a.m. and I was just editing videos. Okay,
Yeah.
and I mean, I use iMovie, and over on the PC side I have Pinnacle, I have Adobe, I have Sony Vegas. I can do all of that, but the frustration is that's time consuming. Okay,
Yeah.
and I'd like to get away from the time-consuming component to this and be able to just snap it and put it on the web. So I'm really looking forward to seeing your full course. Speaking of your full course, how much is it going to cost me to take this course?
$97.
That's it?
Yep.
So for everything we just talked about, not 2,000, not 1,000, $97.
No, and I really, the reason I price it that way is, well, we already talked about that, but one other thing is, you've seen the courses that are hundreds of dollars or even a couple $1,000s, and I feel sometimes they put hours of information in to justify the price. And what I've done is I thought, well, you're an expert. First of all, you don't have the time. What is your time worth to go through a 20-hour course or a 40-hour course?
That's clever.
And you're not in it to be a video producer. You're in it to get yourself on camera, get your message out.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really clever. I like the thinking. $97 if they decide to purchase your course, but there's a ton of free training even if they don't. The reason is, a lot of time people, you heard me say 2,000 for the course I took, but the course I took was a 4-day event in California, as well as a very intensive course on how to create this television station I'm creating, which you're getting the benefit for. And there's a lot of mechanical and technical stuff. And what Matthew is saying is, he could have made his course that complicated, but really it isn't what needs to be done here. I'm really, really proud of you for coming forward and putting this together and actually making it happen. I'm so looking forward to going in the program. The socialmedias.com is a space where you will always come and see Matthew and his channel. Matthew is going to be a charter founder member, and the charter founders will always have their station up rent free. And after January 1st, authors who come after January 1st will actually have to purchase those stations from us. That's how we're going to make a little bit of additional revenue. But my charter members, and Matthew is one of them, thank you for being there. And really, I'm so honored you came. I'm so happy and tickled I got to see you again. And for me, this is very special because now Matthew will only be a button away. And I don't know about you, if you do video a little bit, or if you see video a lot, or if you go to YouTube a lot, when you run into a subject that you know, your heart warms up. And you want to be the reason for their heart warming up. You won't believe how many doors got opened for me because I make a video. I mean, I went down, I've been wanting to get some very heavy hitters to talk to me. I took my camera, I threw it down. You want to find it, go search on Google for Bring Back Main Street. It'll come up. It's a 1-minute video. I did all that with basic equipment. Now, I do have a little bit more knowledge than the average, but honestly, it was all with equipment like Matthew was talking about. So please click on the link below to get some free gifts, to get some free training, and I hope you'll get involved. And Matthew, you got to promise me to come back, will you?
Absolutely, I'll be here.
Thank you very much for this beautiful interview. And
thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and it's an honor to be a charter member. And
the socialmedias.com, and it's called the Social Medias Network. And mainly what I found, and I mean, I hope you'll agree with this, I'm in a room of authors. There's 500 of us. And instead of getting busy on creating our program, a lot of us are trying to learn how to get the message out to the public about their wonderful product. I'm going to be interviewing somebody else. Deanne Tyndale, I think is how you say her name, and her husband Fred. And that's another interview I'm working on. And it's two people that had all kind of adversity. They went through bankruptcy. They went through all kind of stuff. And they almost were at the door of divorce. And now they're coming back. And they love one another like you wouldn't believe. And that's those are the stories I'm trying to bring. And you couldn't do that if you were Deanne and Fred. If you could, you knew there was a tie-in. If you were Deanne and Fred, if you couldn't just grab a phone and start recording. And this is what we're trying to encourage, is show us your genuineness. Thank you very much. Please click on the link. It's most likely going to be below, or maybe a little box on the right where you have put your name and email address. The reason I say or, because depending on where it's placed. But know that if you can't find it on page 1, during the month that we launch, all of the authors are going to be on page 1, and then they'll get moved to being January, which is the introduction month. But you can always just go to the search box on the socialmedias.com, look for Matthew Peters, and that's where you'll find not just this video, you're going to find a ton of material from him. And, God bless you. I love what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Mead.